Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Edwin, I'm the Pretty Green Vinyl Guy, and today we got a vinyl update. So, obviously the last 2 weeks have been pretty crazy in my life. My wife and I managed to get our business back up and running, so that's been fantastic, and just, long hours, but it's all been great. So we're super happy, super fortunate where we live that the virus seems to have been flattened on the curve, and life is slowly going back to normal. So, of course, with that normality, record stores are opening up. So I got a couple of stacks actually, because they've sort of added up quickly, But I figured I'd go through 10 to get things going. So let's get into it. So first off the bat this is the Fine Young Cannibals. This is their debut album that had Johnny Come Home was the hit, and a cover of Elvis's Suspicious Minds. This is still sealed, which is kind of why I bought it, because it wasn't super expensive, and thought I'd give this a go. I haven't opened it and listened to it, but I remember I was really fond of this album when it came out. This, of course, was Roland Gift was the singer. He had an amazing, soulful voice. And then Andy Cox and Dave Steele, they were from the English Beat. And that's how the Fine Young Cannibals started. So that's their debut. Next up we have Paul Simon. This is Rhythm of the Saints. This was kind of his follow-up to Graceland, which where he sort of was combining world music. And this time he was, in Graceland it was in Africa. He was working with, most famously, the Ladysmith Black Mazambo from South Africa. This is more drumming, and I believe more of a South American influence. This is a 1990 pressing. This was, it's probably not as strong as Graceland, but nonetheless, I do like this album. And I saw this tour, and he had all the drummers on stage and stuff. It was very well done. As you can see, that's on the Warner Brothers label. And The Obvious Child, that was a famous song on that. So that's Paul Simon. This is a comp. This is 10 Years of Harmony by the Beach Boys. And this is a comp that goes from 72 through to 81. And so this is all that kind of 70s rock, pop rock, psych rock that the Beach Boys were experimenting with. There's a nice gatefold of everybody. And this period of the Beach Boys is often overlooked. Everyone knows all the early 60s surf songs that made them famous, and then we get into Pet Sounds and Good Vibrations, and then it kind of, goes away. But there is some really good stuff. The Beach Boys, often overlooked as a, pop candy kind of band with that early stuff, and and then we had Pet Sounds, where everybody thinks that's where Brian Wilson kind of peaked, and that was the end of it. But there's some really good stuff on this album, and some of these albums I'd actually like to have individually, but some really great stuff on here. There's also some songs from Dennis Wilson's what was that, Ocean Boulevard solo album. A couple of the cuts from that make it on this album, and but yeah, really, really good. So don't underestimate the latter Beach Boys work. Sort of Kokomo. Okay, we don't want to need to go there, but this is good stuff. This is a double record, double album. Roller Skating Child, Disney Girls, California Saga, that's great. The River Song, The Long Promised Road, Sail on Sailor. Some really good stuff on here. So check out some Beach Boys later stuff. This was a nice pickup. I've been trying to get all the originals. This is Kinda Kinks. This is an original Canadian pressing on Phonodisc, which was Scarborough, Ontario. Kinda Kinks was the second album, I believe. Am I correct there? Which would originally been on Pi Records in the UK. You know, Tired of Waiting of You is probably the biggest song on this album. This was kind of their garage rock era, and in great shape. Beautiful, beautiful cover. And I'll show you the, actually the label says Marble Arch. And it is a stereo version. I'd love to have a mono. Like the Beatles, the Kinks' early albums, they were favorable to the mono mixes of the band themselves. Alright, this is what I've been looking for a while. This is Free, Fire and Water, which I believe was their fourth album. And Free, of course, Paul Rogers, who now lives in Vancouver. He married a former Miss Canada who used to do these kind of cheesy exercise videos on CBC television back in the 70s and 80s. And yeah, so this is Free. This, of course, had the hit All Right Now. This is in really good shape. It does have a little, maybe it was a promo for a record station or something. It's got a little hole cut out in it, a punch hole. This is on Polydor. This is kind of your Zeppelin-ish power blues. Paul Rogers in his prime, brilliant voice. You know, Paul Rogers' voice was so sought after that when Jim Morrison died, the Doors actually flew to England to persuade him to join the band, to become the lead singer of the Doors. And of course he didn't, and went on to form Bad Company after Free was done. Fire and Water, the title track, also great. This is a great album. There's not a bad. You can listen to this absolutely all the way through and rock out. And really, really good album. Get some Free. This is Dreamtime by Tom Verlaine. Tom was the lead singer-guitarist for television, of course. This is one of his solo albums. This is a very good album. All the way through. Original inner sleeve. And also on the Warner Brothers. Yeah, I mean, you see him, of course, expanding his songwriting talents from the, you know, punkier television sound to a more complete singer-songwriter here. Yeah, really, really good album. I was thinking that was the World Trade Centers, but it's not. Anyway, Dreamtime by Tom Verlaine. This is Enya. This is Enya's 1988 album, Watermark. Enya, of course, is the Irish multi-instrumentalist, formerly from Clannad. What's that genre of music? New Age. Really when that New Age thing was going off in the late 80s. My wife was really into that. And she liked like Lorena McKinnon, Yanni, Enya, Clannad. They all sort of had a big thing going there. I think because they were all doing movie soundtracks that really took off. And yeah, this is good. This is nice background music. Watermark, the Sail Away in Gaelic, Oronico Flow. And yeah, 1988 on Geffen Records. You guys all know the label. Cool artwork on the album. All right, next we have Otis Redding, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. The Dock of the Bay, pardon me, is the name of the album. This is from 1968. This is an original German pressing. Unfortunately, it's on the Atco and not on the Volt label. It would have made it valuable if it was on the Volt label, but nonetheless, it's on the Atco. Beautiful mint condition. Probably his most famous album. I think it came out right after he died. And of course, the title track, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, became a huge hit. A very, very strong album all the way through. I mean, what's not to like about Otis Redding? One of the greatest soul voices. And yeah, just beautiful shape. 1968, the year I was born. 52 years old, this album, and it's beautiful. It's better shape than me. Look at it. All right, next up is a Led Zeppelin album I was missing from the collection. I was holding out till I found a nice copy. This is an original Canadian pressing. It's got the embossed cover with the embossed Led Zeppelin here and the embossed Swan Song label record in the bottom corner. This is Presence, gatefold. You know, I had most of the hit songs on the couple of the box sets I have. And I do have this on CD, and I do have the Led Zeppelin Japanese CD box set. Yeah, this is a good album. It's on the Swan Song label. It's in beautiful shape. Glad I held out for a nice copy. Sometimes you see them and the white's all beat up and that sort of thing. And yeah, I mean, is it Led Zeppelin 1, 2, 3, 4 or Physical Graffiti? Houses of the Holy? No, but I think it's a good album. You know, sometimes we pigeonhole ourselves into not, you know, getting into other work. I think Coda probably, you know, most people say that is the weakest album, and it probably is a level below, but I think this still fits in with the earlier catalog of Led Zeppelin. So that's Presence. And we're going to end it with a really nice copy of Superfly, Curtis Mayfield. Again, this was one I was holding out for a really nice copy. This has got the digipack. So the album comes out from the inside with the little flap. It's in beautiful shape. Normally these are, you know, creased and ripped and torn and folded. But this is in just beautiful minty shape. This is on the, what is this on? Quality Records. This is a white label. Now I haven't looked this up. Maybe it's a white label promo. I don't know, because there's no actual manufactured in Canada by Quality Records. This is 1972 Canadian pressing. And if you don't know Superfly, I know there's a thread on the vinyl community right now on soundtracks. Well, this would be in my soundtracks. This is probably one of the best soundtracks of all time. And a groundbreaking soul album. They say, you know, Superfly and Marvin Gaye's What's Going On are probably the two landmark must-own soul albums of all time. Because these really both defined the era and the type of soul music that really took off during that. I mean, we all know soul today sounds nothing like soul from the 70s, right? That was the heyday of soul, in my opinion. You know, and this was the soul that then kind of transformed into the disco. This has, you know, Pusher Man, the title track, Superfly. But it's just a brilliant, brilliant album all the way through. 1972's Curtis Mayfield's Superfly. I'm going to stop there. That's kind of gimme 10 new releases. I wanted to show the 10. I did buy some other stuff, but I think those are ones that people might want to see because there's a couple of nice originals in there and they are all in pristine condition. But I'll be back with some other videos. I've also got some new finds that are new purchases, newly, not old, used vinyl, new vinyl. And I got to get in on a couple of contests that are going around. So hope to be back soon. Maybe even later today, as it's a rainy day here. This is supposed to be our last day of rain before summer comes out. I've already got my outfit on. Cheers, guys. Have a great day, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye now.